questions in her hat. So let's wait for her to join us. And we are super excited for this very fun and interactive and inspirational talk with her. So we'll be waiting for a few minutes for her to join us. If you guys have any questions for ma'am, you can please comment them in the comment section, and we will be dedicating our last 15 minutes of the live session totally for your questions. She's a very inspirational and wonderful person, and we hope you guys will learn something from her today and her story. Ma'am said she'll be joining us at 8:03. Yeah, ma'am is here.
Hello, Neha.
Hi, ma'am.
How are you?
I'm good. Thank you so much, ma'am. How are you?
Very good, very good. Good to see you.
Same, ma'am. How's your quarantine going on?
Well, I'm not really quarantined at the moment. We're doing our bit, but yes, बहुत कम बाहर जाते हैं. Unless it's really, really important, we don't really step out. And we've been on our toes since March. A little more extra hectic than what it was usually, but good. We're all going to get through this. Yes.
Thank you so much, ma'am, firstly. And we'll be dedicating our last 15 minutes to audience and their questions for you.
Sure.
So can we start our interaction?
Sure. Let's go ahead.
Yes, ma'am. Everybody know that you are a very wonderful person and you did a lot for society, and you believe that whatever you take, you give it back to the society. And you're a very wonderful artist. So we'll start from your childhood, then your profession, and we'll go on like that. Okay, ma'am?
So,
Yes.
Neha, I was born in an army home. My father was serving in the army, and with two elder brothers. We've traveled to different parts of the country every 2 to 3 years. As you know, an army officer would get posted and move to another city. So I guess that has really influenced me. In fact, I say it in all my interviews that my journey to so many different places have been very instrumental when it comes to meeting so many different people to my social work. So I think my childhood was really, really fascinating, where I have, been blessed to meet such amazingly wonderful people throughout the country, because every state has a different culture, different language, different food, different clothes that they wear. So हमारे देश की विभिन्नता इतनी सुंदर है कि हर स्टेट में हम जाते हैं, हमें कुछ नया सीखने को मिलता है. We have inspiration in every corner of India is what I feel, and that's what I tell youngsters, कि देश के जिस कोने में चले जाओ, जिस भी इंसान से बात करो, आपको कुछ उससे सीखने को ही मिलता है. So I think that was very instrumental during my growing up days, and my childhood was fantastic. I've traveled in most of the country with my parents, and met some amazingly wonderful people. Yes.
Yes, ma'am. So you're an internationally acclaimed artist. When did you find your love for art?
Well, I was very small when I was in kindergarten, and I used to just sketch something. I never thought that I was good at painting, but I somehow down the line, as my growing years, knew that I'm creative. Now, and I very strongly believe that to be creative, you don't have to draw a perfect face or a perfect body or a hand or a feet. You have to be creative, and it could be in any form. So I guess that's when I picked up abstract art as something that I related to more. And I did few paintings, some small little watercolors, and which were applauded in my school as during my growing up days. And when my dad was posted in Kolkata, is when actually my art journey started, where I went to Shanti Niketan. I went to a lot of museums and galleries. I went and saw West Bengal's local art. That actually influenced me a lot. And that's where I started thinking that should I take this as a profession to go ahead. But somewhere down the line, it was always bothering me that do I only want to be an artist who's exhibiting and who's auctioning the work, doing commission work, or do I want to do more? But it was very important for a 14-year-old to understand that where do you want to start? Because everywhere, in your life, एक पहला कदम लेना बहुत जरूरी करना चाहते हैं. So I guess that is where the art journey started, and I knew that okay, let's start with art. Then we will see how we will connect it as time goes, because you're in your teens, you're still learning so many things, you're not exposed to so many things which are there out in the world. So slowly and gradually you move forward with your experience. You get to learn as the time goes. With age you become more mature. You have seen more world. So I guess art started from Kolkata for me very much. Yes.
Okay, ma'am. So you said your dad was an army officer, right? And you went into art stream. So was your family very supportive, or did you face any issues?
You know what? Till I was with my parents, I did not study art. I did BCom, but I left it halfway because I got married. And then I did political science. So for me, my art journey professionally and to go to a college to study, to go to a university to study happened when I came to Mumbai, when I got married. And, my husband's family was very supportive as well, and they said no, you must study, we know you're very creative. But it's always good because जब आप कॉलेज जाते हैं, नए टीचर्स से मिलते हैं, पढ़ते हैं, तो आपको बहुत ज्यादा एक्सपोजर मिलता है. So that was something that really I'm thankful for. So my art journey started from after my marriage. But if I had chosen to study art before marriage also, I don't think my parents would have had any problem, as long as it was something which was respectable and which was something I was happy doing as a creative person. My parents were very supportive. They would have not had a problem, though my dad wanted me to be a doctor. I think India में सब घर में doctor, engineer, architect ही सबको चाहिए बच्चे. But I think the times are changing now, and during my time also, my parents were not really stubborn about that. No, हमारी बेटी को ये. He said, I would like you to be a doctor, but end of the day, you have to choose what you're good at, and I'm very thankful for that. But that happened much later when I came to Bombay. So yes, art journey started from Bombay.
Okay, ma'am, that was wonderful. So your art is like really beautiful. People love your art. So you probably like, as I said, internationally acclaimed artist, right? But then you decided to do social work. You decided to give it out to the society. How did you come up with that ideology? I mean, that is very inspirational. Could you tell us about that?
Neha, for me, as I said, that I never wanted to be just an artist who's going to go abroad, study, who will paint, have exhibitions in all the big galleries, go to international auction homes, sell their work in auction homes, and that's it. What is beyond that is what I have been always searching from my childhood. That if you're creative, आप अच्छा काम कर रहे हैं, अच्छी paintings बनाते हैं, अच्छे sculptures बनाते हैं, what happens after that? Did I want to just restrict myself there? No. So for me, it was all about getting into art, using my creative ability to connect to people. For me, it was very important कि मैं आर्ट के माध्यम से लोगों से जुड़ूं और लोगों के लिए कुछ अच्छा काम कर सकूं. And I think that is where my art also became very useful and came very handy for me to connect easily to people. As a social activist, as a social worker, आप एक area में जाके when you start working, you tell them you want to do this, you want to do that, थोड़ा difficult हो जाता है. But जब आप art के माध्यम से लोगों से जुड़ते हैं, तो that becomes very easy for other people, the other people you're trying to convince to do certain things with you. It becomes much more easier. So art ने मुझे वो direction दिखाई, art ने मुझे वो platform दिया जिससे मैं लोगों से directly connect ho pai. So I think for me, back of my mind at a very young age, I knew that I do not want to be just an artist, but I want to use my art for a better cause. I wanted to use art for the betterment of the society, and that is where my whole art journey slowly and gradually moved into social work, and that something that I'm very thankful for, that how my art has actually helped me connect to millions of people today and made it easy for me to sit and converse with them, listen to their problems, address their issues that they're facing in different areas, in different fields of life that they're working in. So it kind of connected me very easily to people. So that was a big part of art in my life. Yes.
Yes, ma'am. So you just said a statement how you're using art to transform the community, right? This is what Rouble Nagi Art Foundation work for.
Yes.
And could you elaborate more about the work you do as a part of Rouble Nagi Art Foundation and workshops for children? Are you there, ma'am? Guys, can you see me? Can you see ma'am? Okay. Ma'am will be joining us in some time, I guess. She has some network issues. Yeah, ma'am is here.
I don't know what. I don't know. It just suddenly went blank. You can
Yes.
see me now. You can hear me now.
Yep, ma'am. Perfect.
Sorry, Neha, I missed your last question.
Yeah. So I was asking, you said this line, right? How you use art to help the community out there and to reach out to them. So that is what Rouble Nagi Art Foundation work for. Could you elaborate more about it?
Yes. See, art has a massive power to move people to social change. A single person is incapable of changing the world, but that person is able to convince the world that it needs to change and move to a concrete direction. And that is what we are doing through RNAF, Rouble Nagi Art Foundation, and Misal India initiative. The main aim of Misal India initiative is not to just beautify the homes, beautify slums, beautify villages. As I said, the main aim is about connecting to people through art. Main aim is to bring in that positive change in people's mind. Art के माध्यम से लोगों से जुड़ना और उनसे जुड़ के उनको शिक्षित करना. Why do you need to keep your area clean? Why do you need to send your children to school? Why should you empower women? Let your girl child study. महिलाओं को आगे लाइए, उनको काम करने के लिए, अगर वो काम करना चाहती हैं तो उनको आगे काम करने के लिए आप उनको सहायता कीजिए. Why do we need to know the importance of hygiene, sanitation, waste management? So when we go into the whole team, when Misal India RNAF team goes into one slum, one basti, one city, one village, wherever we are working, we want to address these basic issues. खाली दीवारों को रंग करके, कलर करके, कलरफुल बना के आप निकल जाएंगे, उसका क्या फायदा होगा? Yes, it will bring that brightness and colorfulness to the slum or to a village, great. But in a country like India, we need to address bigger problems than just beautification of our areas. So this is where we transform the whole area. We don't just color, waterproof, repair. We transform centers में आके skill training programs ले रही हैं. So we, every area we work with, we start with beautification. We start connecting with people with beautification and cleaning their area and talking about different issues during our workshop. And then once 2 to 3 weeks down the line, then we start hunting a space for opening a Balwadi, which is a small learning center for children, and skill center, followed by 2 to 3 months, depending on how much. Every area is different. Some areas we open much faster. Some areas take 3 to 4 months for everything to start. So like that, we work step by step. But the main aim is that we want to focus on bigger problems of people living in these areas rather than just beautifying. And I think that is where Misal India, Misal Mumbai became Misal India, because we started with Mumbai because I live in Mumbai. But in less than 1 year, we reached out to many different areas in the country, and we changed the name to Misal India because then we wanted to reach to every corner. I mean, there are so many people who have gotten inspired and use the same Misal model and transform the areas. And I think that is where it became like a chain. आप किसी चीज से इंस्पायर होते हैं, प्रेरित होते हैं और आप उसको अपनी लाइफ में इम्प्लीमेंट करते हैं और वो सक्सेस होता है, तो आई थिंक दैट इटसेल्फ इज लाइक ब्रिंगिंग इन अ ह्यूज चेंज. And it's very important that what is the impact, whatever you're doing, what is the impact that initiative, that project of yours is bringing on ground. So I think Misal India could connect to people on one. वो बोलते हैं ना कि इमोशनल बॉन्डिंग हो जाती है जब आप किसी के साथ, जो एक मजबूर इंसान है, तकलीफ में है. That is what people, the locals, the residents did that with me and my entire team, and we call them extended family. I mean, I hate to call them, they live in slums or villages. I mean, they're people, they're human beings. If they can live there, we can live there too. But if we are not living there, what is it that we can do to improve their condition while they are there? So many people, Neha, have come up to us and said, "Ma'am, आपने दिवाली एक साल पहले हमारे लिए लेके आ गए when we were coloring the walls." So many people said, "ये साल हमें पानी में सोना नहीं पड़ेगा because you waterproofed our walls which were leaking." So the emotional connect is something that always drives me to go forward and do so many more things. And it's the love and respect of people that just keeps pushing me, and I keep pushing my team. It's teamwork. I don't take any credit for it. It's all teamwork, and I think we've all done it together. And we still have lots more to do. And in our capacity, we want to reach as many as possible, more and more people, and help them. I know बहुत सारे लोगों की एप्लीकेशंस, ईमेल्स हमें आती हैं, हम सबकी मदद नहीं कर पाते, सबको कभी कभी रिप्लाई भी टाइम से नहीं पहुंच पाते, एंड माय अपॉलॉजीज फॉर दैट. बट हमारी कैपेसिटी में हम जितना कर सकते हैं, there is not, we don't use the word no for it, but when we can do it, we definitely bend backwards and never think twice to help someone.
Wonderful, ma'am. That was wonderfully said. So you just spoke about Misal India, right? As a part of it, you painted 1,55,000 houses, which is not a less number. That means in our country, we know that when somebody gets up to do something for the nation, they receive a lot of criticism in the beginning stages. How did you handle with it to reach to such a great position right now?
You know what? I think भगवान की बहुत कृपा थी. God was very kind कि मुझे criticism नहीं मिला इससे. Or yes, we had a lot of challenges, but we didn't have criticism. In fact, before I could talk about Misal Mumbai with our first project, taking a picture, tweeting about it, taking a picture, Instagram, taking a picture, blogged about it. And before I, because I was waiting कि पूरा खत्म हो जाएगा जब, तब हम उसका एक फोटो डालेंगे. But हमारे it got visibility much before. And imagine you're driving and you see this hill with the beautiful rainbow kind of colors. So you get attracted to it, and you want to take a photograph, and you want to say that, oh, something really different has happened in Mumbai, because nobody in Mumbai had, or even in India, had seen something like that before. So it got a lot of eyes, and that's where people started talking about it. And then when I wrote about it, they knew, okay, ये Rouble Nagi का initiative है, इन्होंने शुरू किया है अपनी new initiative from the foundation Misal Mumbai के साथ. And that is where the whole Misal journey started. But criticism, I always say that, why criticize, why not praise? And it's very easy to criticize. Sometimes I have seen people, they like your work, they know it's brilliant and it's making great impact on ground and people are getting benefited out of it, but somewhere down the line, they are not the people who want to go out and praise. So I'd say, this, that to those people, that अगर आप किसी की तारीफ नहीं कर सकते, तो आप उनकी बुराई भी मत करिए. But that doesn't mean they आपको तारीफ ही करनी है. If I don't want to praise, this is done is not right, I will raise my voice and stand for that. But I will not just go just for the heck of, oh, this bike, let's criticize. I believe in positive energy. I believe in positivity. And I feel आप जब positivity में believe करते हैं, so आप positivity भी attract करते हैं. Criticism तो, as I said, God is kind. हमें नहीं मिला इस project के लिए, because people were so happy. And, you know, when we were not on site, so many media people have gone and interviewed those locals there. And you know, I have got messages from media people saying that, ma'am, you were not there. We didn't want to tell you. We wanted a surprise visit. And we are so taken aback with the response people have given us. And they are so happy that something like this has happened. Some people have told them it is fourth generation for us living in this slum. Fourth generation for us living in this basti. Nothing like this has ever happened. Our walls were always grey. And suddenly we come out, our kids come out, and they see a brighter wall, a cleaner a lane, we know where to put our कचरा. हमें ड्राई वेस्ट वेट वेस्ट के बारे में समझाया गया, तो हम अपना कचरा भी अभी सेग्रीगेट करते हैं. हम अपने बच्चों को आगे अभी 10वीं नहीं 12वीं तक पढ़ाएंगे. So you know, this is what you want people to understand, that this is the change we want to do. I will clean, I will beautify, I will do everything once, twice, go back. But if the people are not going to understand, people who are living there, it is going to come back to square one. So it is very important, while we are working, we are addressing these issues. We go door to door. बैठिए, हमारे साथ जुड़िए. We have so many volunteers today because they are the people who are living there. So that is where, you know, the whole thing turned around. And there are a lot of people who came up to us earlier that, you know, ma'am, is it a political agenda, or is it you know, supported by some political party or some builder, or somebody's coming to break our homes or take our land, and you know, all these kind of issues. So we had challenges in the initial stages, but when they understand that, oh no, she and her team is not here to take anything from us, not even a glass of water, वो भी हम अगर देंगे तो वो पीते हैं, मांगते भी नहीं. Then they understood that no. So then we got a red carpet treatment. Once everybody understood that, you know, they just want love in return. They don't want anything. And, you know, for me, it is all love driven and passion driven work. For me, I feel happiest when I see my student completing his degree. I feel happiest when I see an MBA degree in his hand or her hand and coming and telling me, ma'am, see, I've got this. And thank you. And I, the small children that I've seen have grown ups taller than me and doing so well in their life, and coming out of the areas that they never wanted to spend their childhood in and want to move their parents out of that. So, you know, it's a lot of hard work. There's a lot of hard work. We don't see rains. We don't see 40 degrees. We don't see spring, summer. We don't see anything. We work 10 to 6:37 on site non-stop, whether there is sun or there is rain. So it's a lot of hard work. And I think slowly and gradually, people started understanding that, because I'm personally on site myself every day. So anybody says that we want to do a meeting with you, मैं उनको बोलती हूँ, आप ये slum में मैं हूँ, आ जाइए, या Instagram पे देख लीजिए आज हम कौन से एरिया में काम कर रहे हैं. You want to meet me? Come, I'll treat you for nice vada pav and tea on site. And you will meet my wonderful children who are always there. When they come back from school, we sit and study. We do a little tuition with them as well when I'm there. So just come. So it's that whole motivational thing that you need to motivate people to bring in that change in their mind. And I think so far we've been very successful, and God has been kind. And I don't call them people anymore. They're part of my family. So it's extended family. और आपकी family के लिए अगर आप कुछ करते हैं तो it's not something you need somebody to say thank you to you, right? It comes automatically. You must do your best.
Listening to you itself give me those goosebumps and, you know, that inspiration, man. So you just told about how Ms Rouble India was not only about beautification of slums, but was about cleaning, hygiene, sanitation, and women empowerment. How did people react to it in the beginning, and how was the reach?
See, like I said, that people were first very apprehensive about कि क्या हो रहा है. मैम बाल्टियां लेके आई हैं, 30-40 लोग लेके आए हैं, कलर से शुरू कर रहे हैं. Then somebody said that madam, color se kya hoga? You know, if we get some money, we will do some medical treatment or use it for education for our children. So I said, you know what, hold on, we are going to homes. We had 200 people standing behind us. पूरी बस्ती बाहर आ जाती थी, बाहर आके हमारे साथ खड़े हो जाती थी, देखती थी कि क्या हो रहा है. So the curiosity of art and what is happening on the walls brought people to us rather than us going one on one, home to home, saying कि हम आपके घर में कलर करना चाहते हैं. So after the third or fourth day, when they all came and joined hands with us, they sat with us. They decided the color they wanted. Like somebody said, ma'am, can we do purple with this? Because my interior is like this. The small kholis, but it's महल for them, right? So for them, that's their life. So उनके लिए वो बहुत important. And I said, you know what? आप बैठिए. So, and before I start coloring an area, I take a black and white photo and I decide as an artist that what is the color scheme I'm going to follow, because I want it to look really nice and very appealing to your eyes when you see it from a distance. So I would show them that, and they would sit with me and choose the color. Somebody said, my daughter is getting married in 2 months, ma'am, can we do a nice bright pink on my house? And I'm like, yes, of course. So it's like they are making you part of their family. They're making you part of their celebrations. मेरी बेटी की शादी है, मेरे बेटे का मुंडन है, या हमारे घर में कोई दावत है, तो हमें ग्रीन कर दीजिए. ईद आ रही है, आप हमें ये कलर दे दीजिए. दिवाली है, मैम, कैन वी डू लिटिल बिट ऑफ ऑरेंज विद pink and blue? So all these beautiful themes that they came up with is, what is it called? It's called the participation of the locals, participation of residents. Otherwise they would say जो भी color मारना है मार दो. But they personally got involved, and when they saw me cleaning the garbage, झाड़ू लेके साफ कर रही है, दीवार साफ कर रही है, पूरा प्लास्टर निकाल के प्लास्टरिंग कर रहे हैं. So that's when they came forward and they said, ma'am, now we are not going to put the garbage out. We are all keeping dustbins. Some of them said, we can't afford dustbins. Ma'am, can you get us some dustbins? We did. Some of them who could afford to get dustbins, उन्होंने अपने घरों के, अपने दुकानों के बाहर लाके डस्टबिन्स रखे और उसमें कचरा डालना शुरू किया. And I come once in a month or once in 3 months, depending on when. I can't give you commitment to that, but I do not want, and I'm not going to tell you before coming, because before coming then you'll clean everything. So I want a weekly report will come to me that I want you to not just do this yourself, but also tell other people to do it. मैं आपको बोलूं, आप दूसरे को बोलो, 10 से 100 से 1000, 1000 से लाख, लाखों से million. That is where the message will go ahead. And I think that is where the whole thing connected very beautifully, and art played a huge role in connecting us to people in a very smoother and a very positive manner. And everybody came forward, and Misal became a voluntary, Misal is a volunteer-based initiative today. We have volunteers all over the country, and they're all very driven, and all युवा हैं, mid-age हैं, काफी 60+ भी हैं जो weekends पे आके हमारे साथ workshops करते हैं. But maximum is youth driven, and I have a lot of girls who are working, a lot of women who are working, and it's just their energy and their passion that, ma'am, हम पढ़ाई भी कर रहे हैं, हमें ये भी थोड़ा weekend पे आके ये करना है. We have 2 days free, can we come and spend 1 day and take this workshop, do this, be part of the. So it's their energy, it's their enthusiasm that brings everything together. And I think that is when you become one team, and आपका लक्ष्य एक हो जाता है, आपका aim एक हो जाता है, and that's when you walk towards achieving that. And we are walking on that, and we've achieved, I say, very little so far. We have to do much more, because और बहुत सारे लोग हैं हमारे देश में जिनको अभी भी बहुत जरूरत है कि उनको कोई आके direction दिखाए, मदद करे, and we are trying to reach to maximum people we can.
Yes, ma'am. So you just spoke about how you're doing women empowerment from your side, right? You also do vocational training for women, how to become nurse or like things like that. Could you elaborate, how did you get that idea to do something for especially women to stand on their own feet?
See, how would you empower a woman? आप एक औरत को empower कैसे कर सकते हैं? आप अगर उनको आत्मनिर्भर कर देंगे, if you make them independent, is when You are empowering them. Education empowers them. Employment empowers them. You have to respect women. You have to give them equal opportunities as men when you talk about empowering women. Just saying कि हमें women empowerment करनी है, but आपको पता है women empowerment होती कैसे है? If some people will say that, oh, let's empower our women, saying is very good. This is where, when I started Rouble Nagi Art Foundation almost 10 plus years back, I saw a lot of women in every area were very, very forthcoming. In fact, पुरुषों से लड़कों से ज्यादा लड़कियां आगे आके बोलती थी, मैम हम पढ़ाई कर रहे हैं, उसके साथ उसके बाद हम क्या करें. Some of them would say, मैम हमने 10वीं में छोड़ दिया, 8वीं में छोड़ दिया, 12वीं में छोड़ दिया, ड्रॉप आउट. There were a big number of dropouts. हमें अभी आगे कुछ करना है मैम, we don't want कि हम बस शादी करके घर पे बैठे बच्चे पाले. उनके साथ हम और क्या कर सकते हैं मैम? How can we add to our family where we can support our family? And that is where I thought, you know what? Because the main aim of foundation was education for children. And that is where I diversified into skill training programs also. And I started skill training with training programs for women. And then later, now we are also running a lot of courses for boys as well. Now there is no you like this course is for women, this is for a boy. I mean, today you have beauticians, makeup artists, hair artists. They're also men. In fact, men are doing better than women in these lines. So now we've combined every course. But when I started a few years back, I started with skill training programs for our girls, for our women. पहले हमने गांव से शुरू किया था, फिर हमने न्यू दिल्ली में मेरे पहले सेंटर से शुरू किया था, एंड हमने स्टिचिंग से शुरू किया था. बिकॉज यू नो, इफ आई गो टू राजस्थान, if I go to Bihar, if I go to UP, if I go to Telangana, if I go to Punjab, every area women want to do different. They are skilled in different. So I do not want, I've never opened a skill center saying आप नर्स ही बनो, आप स्टिचिंग ही सीखो, आप ब्यूटिशियन ही बनो. I always take the database and we do our on ground collection of data where what they want to do. So when we do workshop, like I said, when we are doing the beautification and cleanliness, when we start the Misal initiative in any area, we first take the database of what women want to do there. So if they are good at stitching, we want to start a stitching center for them. If we see that they are good in, they are little educated, they've done their 12th standard, we can get them into the course to do nursing for 3 months, and then they can do internship, they can do on ground with hospitals. We have, we've got tie-ups with different clinics and different doctors and hospitals where they on ground go. There's something called midwife, which is not the term too much used in India. It's more used in America, but they are between doctor and nurse, called kind of midwife, where they can look after the patient when the nurse that you can do with us. But whatever you choose, you have to give your 100%. I personally try to take interviews of all the girls before getting them started in the center, and I only ask them one question: are you here just to get the certificate, or you passionately want to learn and contribute in supporting your family? And I have seen so much of the huge drive in girls and women in our country that no ma'am, hame karna hai. We don't want to be just doing this household thing, which I have huge respect for. My mother is a housewife and she's brought up 3 kids, and I think housewives are brilliant, and it's very tough to even bring up your children, look after your house. But with that, if a lady, if a woman wants to also work and contribute back to the family, why not? And that is where my skilling actually development center started, when I got lot of women over 2 years where they were like, ma'am, how do we start? So I was like, no, you know what, education for children, let's do this, let's start. So that's when I launched SII, Skill India initiative of Rouble Nagi Art Foundation. After Ronak, Learn to Earn, Crayon, we launched this initiative where we started skilling our women. and now youth also. We have a huge number of boys who also come and learn with us.
Okay, ma'am. You're doing a really wonderful work. Also, you started Balwadis, right? And at Balwadis, you have different type of curriculum to educate the kids there.
Yes.
Could you elaborate a bit on how it's different from the actual curriculum we have in our country?
See, my whole concept of Balwadis have been there for many years. They are small, rooms where kids come in the evening, where they interact with the teachers, their educators, whoever is teaching them. My concept was not to do the same thing. Now, how is learning fun and RNAF? Because we don't want to learn what textbook is teaching you. That you're studying in school already. We want you to come to Balwadi, have fun. Do what you have not done in school. You want to dance for that 1 hour today? Dance. We will study tomorrow. You want to sing? Sing. You want to paint? Paint. You want to play a game? Play a game. So my teachers are very focused on bringing kids forward to interact, letting themselves express openly. Because आप देखो क्योंकि वो टीचर से बात नहीं करते, the communication is always lacking. Somewhere down the line they are so scared of their teachers sometimes कि टीचर कोशिश भी करे तो बच्चा नहीं बोल पाता. So we in the Balwadi, it's like a fun center. You come, learn. हम आपको ABCD, EF जो भी सिखाना है, आपको मैथ सिखाना है, इंग्लिश सिखाना है, हिंदी सिखाना है, हम आपके साथ खेल के उसको एक फन वे में, जिसमें आपको मजा आए, जिसमें आपको इंटरेस्ट आपका जो है वो बना रहे. बिकॉज बच्चों का इंटरेस्ट बना रहना बहुत बहुत जरूरी है. बिकॉज दे हैव फ्रेजाइल mind, they get distracted very easily. So it's very important that they stay focused for even those 20 minutes, half an hour of learning, 1 hour of learning, whatever time they learn in the Balwadi, they stay focused. So for me, it was very important that, I did not want to teach kids in a very standard, regular way. So I told them, school ka homework hum karenge last 15 minutes mein, but first 45 minutes, we want to play, we want to have fun. And you have to come and see it with your own eyes, that kids who have not even spoken hello, hi, how are you, are conversing in English, which is just beyond my imagination, which is what makes me so happy and, gives me so much of joy to see them. And this is all credit to my teachers, all credit to these motivated teachers, because if your teachers are not motivated, I don't think anything can be done, because teachers are actually shaping the future of your nation through the youth, through these children. So it's very important that your teachers are driven, your teachers are motivated, and they want to teach. And every kid learns and understands in a different way. So teacher को पढ़ा रहे हैं और बच्चा समझ नहीं रहा है, उस पढ़ाने का कोई मतलब नहीं है. So at times teachers also have to understand that this kid is not understanding what we are teaching. So let's try and understand the child and then teach. So this is what we do in our Balwadi, and that's why we always have huge number for admissions. And they're like, ma'am, like some parents, I shouldn't be saying this, but some parents have even said, ma'am, school बंद करके यहीं पे रखते. I'm like, no. The incentive to coming to my Balwadi is that I want to see your report card every year, because schooling is very important. And for me to open a Balwadi is to make sure kids finish school. It's not the other way around. Balwadi में अगर आपको आना है, पढ़ना है, तो आपको स्कूल जाना है. जो बच्चा स्कूल नहीं जाएगा, उसको हम बालवाड़ी पे नहीं लाएंगे. We scare them a little like that, because that is what will keep them going. No, we have to go in the evening and do our stuff in Balwadi, so we want to go to school. So that is where the whole Balwadi concept of fun learning came into Rouble Nagi Art Foundation.
We actually love this idea, ma'am. Do you have any plans of extending it till Vellore so that we can volunteer?
Yes, I would be more than happy. In fact, I shouldn't be saying thanks to COVID, but as I said, that I think very positive all the time. And COVID, when you're not on ground working, you're more spending time online, and people are reading about you online more than, because they have time in hand. we've got come up and said, ma'am, can we please connect? Can you start in our area? What is it required? Can you send us the model, how it functions? And we've connected to so many more people in last 5 months that, I'm very happy. And like you said, why not? Well, it's not too far. We have reached the remotest of village. So why not your city as well? We'll be more than happy. And young students are what we drive our inspiration from. And you guys bring so much power and energy to anything that we do. So I think we would love to have all of you to come and volunteer with us.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Also, I belong to Hyderabad.
Oh,
and you did Missile Hyderabad.
Misal.
And I heard a lot about it. So could you tell how your experience was with people in Hyderabad and how the work was?
I'm in love with Hyderabad, and I think I've been there when I was a child, and I think are the most loving, welcoming, hospitable people in the world. And Hyderabad, when we started, it was thanks to the Phoenix Group. Mr. Suresh Tukapalli, he actually contacted me and he said, we're looking at doing something like that. We really like what you've done in other parts of the country. So would you be interested in doing in Hyderabad? I said, more than happy. But my only thing was that, is it a slum? He said, we call it Basti here. And in Mumbai, obviously, we call it slum. So I said, okay, are you looking at... My only condition was that it has to be the area where you require maximum attention for people. Though the area Film Nagar is a very posh area, but these were the small patches of these bastis in those areas, and they had these big buildings which we worked in. But the people inside were living actually in a 8x8, 7x7, 10x10 feet homes. So the buildings look beautiful, big buildings from outside, but from inside they were actually like slum homes. And people in Hyderabad, such a good team. Phoenix team was with us as well. Misal team was there. It's always about teamwork, like I say. And I think we connected to such amazingly beautiful people. And language was a little bit of barrier for us because they speak Telugu, and I don't know how to speak in Telugu. But I promise that before Misal Hyderabad finishes, I'll learn a little bit of Telugu. So they were very happy. So I used to tell them, I'll speak to you in English and Hindi. You teach me Telugu, and I'll teach you Hindi English. And every evening, all the kids would come back from school and surround me. We would play. They play that thing that goes round on your hand. If you see some videos of mine, they put those things. We've flown kites on the chat of the building. So I think it was very memorable for me. And then ladies came forward. Old ladies were sitting doing nothing in the house during the day when I used to clean, because every area that I'm in, I clean 2-3 hours myself. I just take my bag while the team is working. I start picking up the packets and everything. And they would come and join me. And they said, we are doing nothing, so why don't we come and join you? And then I have seen them telling others that, don't throw kachra here. Dustbin mein, in Telugu, they would say, dustbin hai, put it there. And then first day, when there was a small temple, which was full of garbage in front, they came and they cleaned the whole thing. And, we took pictures. He said, no, ma'am, you're doing such amazing work for us. We should have done this much before, but now we are inspired. We want to do it. So, that's how you connect to people. And I think then we worked in few schools there and so many more different areas. We could not start the Balwadi because of COVID, but it's all ready. So as soon as things become little okay and kids can come back to school, the Balwadi will also start. But Misal Hyderabad was amazing, and it's big thanks to Phoenix Group also for being extremely supportive to all of us.
Okay, ma'am. I would personally love to join you if you start Balwadi or anything here.
You're most welcome.
Yes. And after that, you are internationally acclaimed artist, right? You traveled various places and did exhibitions. Did you find approach from people towards art is different in countries, and how we have to change our ideology towards art to make things better for artists in our country?
See, if you go few years back, I think art was not a career that parents would really appreciate if a child chose. If their daughter or son would say, I'm creative, I want to be an artist, parents would say, doctor ban jao, medical kar lo, IS ban jao, or engineer ban jao, architect ban jao, because they are more stable jobs, and you're you're getting jobs when you pass out, and it's like that 9 to 5 thing. Being an artist is not 9 to 5. You pass out after your BFA and MFA. So that obviously always bothered parents, and you can't say parents were wrong, because that is the exposure parents have got, and parents always wish well for their children. But now times have changed, times are changing, but still art is not a career which you will pass out in your first exhibition and you think you will become the biggest artist in the world and all your artwork will be sold. There will be maybe your first show, not even one art is sold. You spend money booking the gallery, you spend money buying the colors and canvases, travel, transport your art to the gallery, spending that money to stay in that city, breaking. But this is the profession which requires a lot of patience and persistence. So you need to be at it, and you need to believe in your work. And thankfully, today we have such amazing galleries. In India, I'm talking about, not abroad. In India, we have amazing galleries. We have art educators. We have gallerists who are, you walk into a gallery, a newcomer also, a youngster, new artist just passed out, has just started painting, will go and talk to them. They are there to advise you. There are so many art dealers who are looking for new artists, and they are giving opportunities to new artists. So I think things have changed much more than what they were earlier. Today, Indian artists are selling for few crores all over the world, but not all can reach that level, but not all can stay down also. So, somewhere down the line, you have to break the stereotype. Somewhere down the line, you have to create something which catches everybody's eyes. It has to be out of the box. I tell youngsters that think out of the box. You have so much creativity in your brain. Just shuffle it and get something out of it that you don't have to talk about it and everyone else is talking about it. I think that is where the youth needs to focus, and that is where they need to come up with inspirational, creative ideas to show the world what they're capable of. But in art industry, what it was and what it is now, and what I see in the past few years, it is on an elevation. People are more exposed to it. Parents are have accepted it, are accepting it more openly today, and letting their children follow their passion and study art. That is why we have such brilliant art colleges all over India. We have such amazing government colleges, and I think they are all brilliant. Hyderabad, I visited the college as well, and I think they're great. I've seen some of the most creative works in Hyderabad, the School of Art and Architecture, and some of the big the murals that we did on Hyderabad street in the Basti also are done by the artists from the university where I met them, and I said, "Would you like to come and volunteer and work with us?" And they were like, "Ma'am, we would be very happy. You give us the opportunity." And I think these 5-6 boys who came and worked with us, with my team, I think they were fantastic. And when I go to a next city now after COVID, those 5 boys from Hyderabad are going with me to probably every city, because they're so talented, they're fast, they're dedicated, and I think that is what I'm looking for when it comes to building a team for my initiative. So I think Hyderabad is great, and we have creative people all over the country. It's just that you need to be focused. You need to understand what you want, and it's only you. People can guide you, people can show you the way, but 100% to it. 100% effort is 100% victory.
Yes, ma'am. Very well said. So previously you spoke about the art galleries, right? You also did one of your exhibition at Rashtrapati Bhavan. How was the experience?
Wonderful,
Proudest moment of
wonderful,
your life,
wonderful. I
probably,
think
right?
it was the most
How did it
memorable.
feel?
Yeah, normally artists remember the first show that they did as the most memorable exhibition, which I do too. But in last few years, I think Rashtrapati Bhavan was the show that is very close to my heart, and it was a beautiful gallery which was built in the museum. It was a Rashtrapati Bhavan museum. When you walk into the museum, where you have the whole Gandhi March, you have the whole independence of India carved out in sculptures, and you have such beautiful antiques from all over the world in that museum. And then you're walking in, and you suddenly see this gallery. Before I even had my show, when I saw the gallery for the first time, I just sat there and I said, you know what, God, I wish I can have a show here. And as God was kind, I got invited from Rashtrapati Bhavan, and I think Lalit Kala suggested my name, Lalit Kala Academy, and I had my show there on Gandhi Jayanti, and I think it was just surreal for me. It was, as an artist, a great experience, and I had a lot of kids from different schools, different universities, different bastis in Delhi. Also, every day in a group of 40, 50, 60, 100 visit my gallery, because I wanted them to not just see my work but also see the museum. They would have normally not gotten an opportunity to come and see it because, schools sometimes, not every school would get you there. But whoever we were connected with in Delhi, I made sure that all those students class wise came and visited the show and saw the museum also, because it was a great I have great memory of, and I think it was one of the most beautiful shows where I also had some sculptures and some paintings and fiberglass sculptures plus metal sculpture and acrylic on canvas. So it was something that I will cherish for the rest of my life. And then one painting was is there in the museum today itself. So it's like a dream come true. And I still remember our honorable former president's word that, when he saw the painting, he said in Bengali, "Khub bhalo strokes, khub bhalo color flow," means very nice strokes, bold strokes, and very good flow of colors. And I was, looking at him that, how has someone understood my painting so well? Because I'm an abstract artist. If you see my painting, you will not see a face or a lady or a man or a figure in it. You will see an abstract form of colors. And, without even reading the title of this painting, or maybe he's read it or he's not read it, because for me, he just saw the painting then and there. And the way he explained my painting to me was as if I am explaining my painting to him. So he understood that whole thing so beautifully. And, I was so impressed, and I was so touched that he could understand my art so nicely. And he said, I would love to have this in my museum. And, he even told the person standing next to him that do a nice big frame, bold, big, thick frame on the painting. And I think that itself was a huge compliment for all the hard work that I'd done for 3 years while I was creating this exhibition. And I think I'm very, very grateful to him and thankful to him. He's my...
Yes, ma'am. Also, I visited your site where all your art pictures were there. I personally loved all of them. But if you had to say which one of them is your favorite, or have some memories about it which you always cherish, which one would that be, ma'am?
Same thing before last week chat, I was asked the same question, and I said I would give you the same answer, saying that if you ask a mother to choose a child, that out of your 5 children or your 3 children, which is your favorite child, I don't think a mother would be able to say that, okay, the first one or the last one or the middle one. But one project that is very close to my heart, because it was connected to special need children, Save the Children School. I did the entire mosaic work, murals for them on the walls, on the benches, full school. So that was very interesting for me, because it was my first project, which I was doing with special need children. I call them special because I think they're far more intelligent, and they're far more creative than regular children. And when I was working, I was actually interacting with children there in school, because I wanted to be careful about the colors that I'm going to use in the tiles, because some colors they might react to, some colors they love. So I wanted to use all the colors that they would love, and they would love to sit around the wall, sit on that bench which is created for them. So I think that uh, was very that is very close to my heart. And those children, while I was creating it, while I was designing it, before I could sit in my workshop to make it, I learned so much from them. And it's just a different way of seeing to a normal world outside. But what is normal? What is being normal? Do we have a definition for normal? If somebody says Rouble Nagi is normal, I'll say, then you don't know me. I am not normal. I don't want to be normal. It's like, what is the meaning of word normal? So, that was a very beautiful part while I was doing this project. And I have so many more like that. And I guess after that, I started working also more with children. I did a lot of art camps in different workshops with cancer patient children, Wadia Hospital, Surya Hospital. And then my connection to, because, for me, it got a little heavy at times when I went to hospitals to do workshops, because to see a child in a ill health, suffering from something in a hospital is not a very pleasant sign, being a mother myself. But it would, I would come back with a very heavy head. But then I always talk to myself that, do you want to live with a heavy head, or do you want to bring a smile on that child's face who is suffering right now? So, either you worry about yourself, or you want to do something nice for that child. So leave yourself. You can handle, you're a grown up. Let's do something for those children. So that is where I, got myself more involved in working with children with special needs also. So I guess that's where this whole art thing was formed. Then I did lots of projects with children in schools and universities and so on. List is long. I've forgotten the names. Earlier I never took pictures, that as I was in my teens when I started working. So I never took pictures, because I never thought that, 15 years down the line or 10 years down the line, when I see what I was doing 5 years, it's like creating memories. But that's why I've lost out on a lot of my work pictures, because I never took any. But now I'm capturing every moment that I'm living, and I want to cherish it for future.
Ma'am, just a heads up, the session will get done in a minute. I'll start the session again. You can join so that we can continue the interaction, because
Sure.
Audience have few questions for you. They were commenting since a lot of time.
No problem.
So, yes, ma'am. So one of them is asking that, what is the procedure of becoming a volunteer for your Ms India?
Misal.
Like, is there some Sorry, Misal India. Is there any requirement? Misal.
Misal.
Okay.
Listen, if you say missile in Bombay, then they'll say missile pao. Then if you say missile